All right, we should be good now. We should be good now. We should be good now. All right, we good. Shout out to Mills. What's happening, brother? Cheddar, what's up, my boy? All right, WWW. I'm learning, man. I'm not Unc. I'm like big bro. I'm big cousin. I'm not that old yet, but I'm still figuring out some things. Y'all gotta bear with me. I ordered some new equipment too. I got a fire camera. I can't lie. I got the Sony ZVE10, which is dope. I got the 5 Fine mic, but I'm actually gonna switch up, get a different mic, and I'm gonna build myself my own studio. I'm gonna get a PC. So bear with me for right now, but this is doing the job. I think the picture looks good. Waves is all right, and we'll get into it. We'll get into it. I know I dropped the lineup. Nah, I'm not late, bro. I'm not late. I was here at like 9:50, but I had a little delay. Definitely not act. Definitely not act. I'm not drinking. I'm not sleeping, and I'm not yelling. So I'm definitely not act. But I'm gonna do some breakdowns. I think the audio is just delayed regular, man. I don't know if I can fix that tonight, but we got 16 people in here, so we'll get started. We'll get started. We'll talk Cardi and Nicki first, and then we'll get into the Drake stuff. I know that's what everybody wants to hear, so we will get into Drake. We'll also talk about Glasses Malone, West Coast affiliate. I think he's affiliated with TDE. He's a rapper, close relationship with Kendrick Lamar. He commented on one of my posts today. We had a little back and forth. It was respectful. I'm gonna share some insight. I'll tell you what he said and how he feels about Drake's fan base because he let that be clear in the comments. So we'll talk about that. And shout out to What's the Dirt. Oh man, Dirt is dropping too. I'm sorry. We'll get in. We'll get into Drake. We will. We will. Also, by the way, y'all can now sign up for the channel. You can become a member. I think $3 is the lowest tier. You can do super chats now. All of those things are now active. The channel is fully monetized. So I had to come live and just thank you guys. I had to do it. I had to do it. Y'all got me acting unusual. I'm not a live kind of guy. I like to do my videos, record and upload, but y'all got me monetized. So I had to come show some love and get in the live chat. We'll get to Drake when we get to 50 people. Right now we got 25. We'll get to Drake when we get to 50 people. But we can get started though. So we could talk some Cardi. I gotta talk about Cardi because I'm upset. She upset me right here. Let's look at what we see here. I just think Cardi imaginary players, and look at these headlines. Cardi's imaginary players is disappointing. That's a fact. I don't think it's gonna chart top 10, top 20. It was 176 on Spotify, and then it went nowhere. Apple Music, I think it was top 10 or maybe went number 1 on Apple actually and fell off the charts. And it's very simple. This wasn't Cardi's kind of music. And there were some people in my TikTok comments saying, oh, you guys just want to hear her party and turn up. That's not true. On the first album, Be Careful is not a turn up song, but that's a fire song. And I think that was more in her pocket. I don't think the Jay-Z bag is Cardi's bag. Two completely different things. So I'm not sure why they decided to roll with that single. That kind of made no sense. We're going to get to Drake, I promise. We got 30-50. We will get to Drake. We'll get to Drake. We'll get to Drake when we get to 50 people. All right. So, yeah. So, this is what I'll say, right? I know Puff is a controversial figure, but Puffy would be the perfect person to work with Cardi B pre his Fed case. He would have been the perfect guy. And the reason I say this is because Puff is someone who knows how to market an artist. He knows who to put them with. He knows what kind of sound they need. Puff is the master A&R. He makes people successful. Look at what he did with Kim. Big role for Kim. Kim didn't write all those rhymes. Cardi is someone, I'm not going to say she needs a writer, but she would benefit greatly from a writer. Like she would do so much better. Look at how well she did with Party. Look at how well she did with Party. But now her and Party aren't seeing eye to eye. She lost her A&R and everything's been a struggle since. And all of these things just make me appreciate Nicki Minaj even more. And this is why I say Nicki got to be on the Mount Rushmore or like the number 5 position when it comes to hip hop artists, because Nicki was able to sustain excellence. She was able to sustain excellence. No, party, partisan, Pardi, party, not party next door, party. So Party, if you don't know, wrote a lot of songs for Nicki, and Party you might recognize because he used to date Megan Thee Stallion. So he was on the single back, and Party is a great writer. He's a great writer. Shout out to my wife. She's donating in the chat. 5 cash. Shout out to you. Thank you. Somebody. So, you know, Party was writing for her, but that relationship Party is this is him right here. He's actually from New York. I think he's from upstate New York. And Party got a good pen, man. Party's pen is official. So once she ended that relationship with him, it's kind of all been downhill. None of the singles have hit. Like literally not one. So, you know, it's a little disappointing on her behalf, but hey, we'll see. All right. Y'all want to talk Drake? I see a bunch of Drake in the chat. Well, let's talk Drake. We got a few things we can get to. We can start. Yeah, we got to 64. So we could talk Drake. We could talk Drake. Now, y'all want to start with what Glasses Malone had to say in my comments about Drake, or do y'all want to get into what he posted on Instagram today? W wife support. Yes. W for the wife. Do we want to talk about what Glasses Malone had to say, or are we going to get into what Drake posted today? Tell me in the chat what y'all want to hear. Glasses Malone, or we want to talk what Drake posted on IG? All right, it said DM. Let's see. Well, he didn't even write it in my DM. It was in my comments. So I don't listen, man. We keep it safe. We keep it respectful. You know, he kept it respectful, and I think that's dope because he could have just said "F out of here" and tried to curse me out. So let's take a look at what he said. We'll go to my comments right now. All right. So if you haven't seen this video, I made this video because it was reported that Glasses said in a space, J. Cole is in hip hop, right? That was the report that came out. He said J. Cole is in hip hop because he went to college. He's a college A N-word. I don't curse, by the way. So that's why you'll never really see me curse on stream. I'm going to do my best not to. So that's what was said. So he went in the comments. I think a lot of people sent this to him. I had like 4 or 5 celebrities on this post, and he put fibs. Now, I didn't know what he meant by this, and I was thinking, should I even respond? So I said, is he saying I'm lying about the story about my dad? Pop promoters. Is that what he's saying? Or is he saying what? So I said, hey, man, salute to you, my guy. I enjoy your commentary on societal issues and Black people needing to come together. This is my stance always. Positivity above negativity. I don't troll people. I don't try to get people out their bag. You know, I said, I think you're a great teacher, and I think you're sharp. And he says it's all good. But you know, I didn't say that about J. Cole. Def Jam started out of college, which is a fact. Def Jam started at Hunter. I think it was Hunter College in a dorm room. And I was confused when he said J. Cole is in hip hop. I was lost. I didn't get that. And you guys should actually go watch this video. Is doing some numbers on TikTok and YouTube. I told my pops the same thing, and he's gonna come on a live stream to talk about the foundations of hip hop. So I said, you know, what are you talking about here? And here's where he goes. It's all love. I never said anything remotely close to this. A specific artist's fan base spread misinformation, and it's ridiculous. So he's talking about Drake fans. So I'm gonna say Drake stands. It's a regular Drake fan probably wouldn't do this, but he's saying a stan did it. So Glasses is a TDE affiliate, as you can see here. He's affiliated with a few things. It ain't hard to tell. And he's obviously he's a pro Kendrick voice. He's a pro Kendrick voice, which is okay, right? He's from the West Coast. He's a TD affiliate. I would expect nothing other than him to support his guy. I don't know Drake. I'm not from Toronto, and I'm not getting paid by Drake, so I'm not going to go as hard as he's going to back his guy. So I understand that. But he says he didn't say it. I think we can go back into the spaces. We won't do it now, but we can go back into the spaces and kind of see what he said exactly, because I don't know how people got that headline where he said J. Cole is in hip hop. But J. Cole graduated from St. John's, which is my alma mater. He's a couple years older than me, but I know a lot of people who ran in Cole's circle. So Cole is as hip hop as it gets. I don't know how that could even be misconstrued. So that was my little interaction with Glasses. Respectful, as always. I don't get out of pocket. So that's what he had to say. And then if we're gonna keep it on Instagram, Drake posted also. and I can make a connection here. Let's talk about what Drake posted. Let's see what Drake posted. All right. What's the first thing you should notice here in this post? What's the first thing you should notice here in this post? Somebody got to say it in the chat because I don't want to give away all the answers. What's the first thing you should notice in the post? It's red. That's the first color. And I will say this again. You never know who is watching your streams. You never know who is watching your TikToks. You never know who's watching your YouTube. I can guarantee you, I guarantee it. People from OVO have seen my posts and my videos. People from TDE, you just saw it, have seen my posts and my videos. I can tell you that straight up and down. That's a fact. So and if they've seen my videos, I'm a small creator. I know Drake has definitely seen What's the Dirt's videos. Like he's liked them on Instagram. He's commented a few things as well. So we know that they're watching these things. So let's say Drake's plan wasn't even to do blue, green, red. He did it anyway. And I think he can play into that theme. And there's another creator I want to shout out right now too. We're going to go to his page. So this is the first thing we should notice is the color red. Now as we keep going, you got Drake. You got Drake with the shiesty on. This is not an official picture. This is like, he had the fro at this point. But Drake with the shiesty and the Iceman theme. It's cold. He has a picture like that now. Who do we see here? Now we'll get to the What's the Dirt breakdown. But right now, you see right here, Pinocchio. And this character here, I believe, is John Janik. So hopefully you've been watching What's the Dirt. You should know who John Janik is. Get me on the OVO payroll. I will consult for OVO. Call me. I could be a consultant. So you should see right there, that's John Janik, and he's holding Pinocchio. And obviously we know Pinocchio represents Kendrick Lamar. I think that's been confirmed. I don't think that's a mystery or a myth. So, Drake is toying with the idea. He's toying with the idea. What else is in this post? This watch. Now, let's stick with the theme. We got red. We have blue. Now, if you remember on What Did I Miss, Drake says stones. He also mentions a watch like this that he gifted LeBron James. So again, these things aren't accidents. These things aren't accidents. That's Geppetto. Pardon me, Shane. Thank you for the correction. Hit the like button for the algo. Yes. So again, these things are not accidents. Drake has 153 Rolexes in his collection. So why post this one with the blue stones? Again, even if this wasn't his plan to roll with this theme, he's playing into it. So this will continue to be rolled out. And at the end of this, I'll talk about when I think the album is coming. I see people talking about episode 3. We'll get to that also. Red cup, blue shirt, green lighting. Red cup, blue shirt, green lighting. Again, out of any picture you could post from your tour, why this one? Why this one? Why this one? And Drake is chronically online, by the way. He's always on Instagram. I don't know who this is, but Drake stay with the hookah. And then this is some special shows for you, UK, EU. And this is a Chanel bag with the misplaced letters. I'm sure it costs a lot. Shout out to KD. Shout out to Adonis. Can we say that KD is the definition of a loyal friend? I don't know about loyal to a franchise, but I can say KD is the definition of a loyal friend. What do the colors blue and green mean to Drake? So you have to go watch my video. You can watch a video that says Iceman episode 3 preview, and that will walk you through the meaning of each one of the colors and what I think they symbolize in terms of this rollout. So you got to check into that. Oh, Curry, I wouldn't even call her friend. Curry is family. So if you don't know Aisha, who's Curry's wife, she's blood related to a few members, or at least one member from OVO. So that's family. So that's why you'll never see Steph act out of character when it comes to Drake, and that's why he goes so hard. Because I think Steph has seen the effect that Not Like Us has had on public perception, and he's a father, right? That's why the song is so disturbing to me, because he's a dad. And you got a son, and you got to hear that word. Like, that's what's crazy. So Curry is definitely family. Curry is definitely family. But KD is rolling with him. KD been with him all summer. I don't know if KD's been in the gym. KD has not been in the gym. He's on the road. He's living like a rock star. Shout out to Houston. And yeah, Steph Curry is my favorite player. So I gotta salute the loyalty from Steph. And then he ends off with the Drake face. You all know the Drake face. I don't have to go into the face. Now, let's look here. I want to show you another post. And I always like to shout out creators who I find things from, because sometimes I have things, but sometimes other people do. So this is from OVO Drop and Certified Drake Fan. They did a whole breakdown on what they think is going to happen. Iceman episode 3 prediction. I made a video on this, but they went a little bit more in depth in this post. So again, this was covered in the video. So for those of you who are asking about the colors, go back and watch Iceman episode 3 preview. Let's look at their breakdown here, because this is dope. So you see blue, green, and they believe the third episode is going to be red. And I will almost guarantee that as well. We'll get red themes in episode 3. Now that they're saying it's coming to 28th. If you look at Drake's schedule, he would be in Italy on this day. Italy is going to be very important to the entire theme. That's going to tie back into Pinocchio. That's going to tie back into Pinocchio. Sorry, y'all. Give me one sec. So they believe with this day off that Drake has, this will be the episode, which I think sounds plausible. Of Pinocchio. That's Pinocchio, all right? Now, what else happened in Italy? Or who else happened in Italy? Iceman, okay? The guy who drew him after. And I say his name wrong all the time, so I'm not even going to butcher it. I'm going to just call him Kimi, right? I'm just going to leave it at that. So Kimi, right? He's saying that when he's in Italy, he's going to roll this out because it connects too many dots. Number one, it connects Italy. What are the Italian colors flags? Red. Man, one of his final races that was very important took place in Italy. Cathedrals. Drake's been posting cathedrals in Germany. All those things tie in right here. And again, Drake with the racer jacket. Drake with the Ferraris. Right? So this is Kimi's helmet here. And then finally, of course, he's been playing up to this Pinocchio theme. What's the Dirt already covered this. I'm not going to get into that. And you could check out his latest video as well. So Iceman coming soon. Now, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I don't know how soon that this album is going to come. Last time I was on stream, I broke down when Taylor Swift was. I broke down when Taylor Swift is dropping. So let's look that date up again. Let's look that date up again, because that's going to be important. Let's see, new album, Taylor. So she said October. I don't know if she put the exact date. You guys will have to tell me in the chat if you know the exact date. October 3rd, it looks like. So if Taylor's coming October 3rd, that tells you Drake does not want to drop the week before or really the next 2 or 3 weeks after, because Taylor Swift is going to move units. She's already has pre-sales up, and Drake has already said Taylor's the only one who he would ever delay something for or move his album for. He's already said that. Shout out to Tristan. Shout out to True Thought. Keep the family away, age like milk. That's a fact. So I don't think Drake's coming in October. So he really has to drop this album in either the next 2 to 3 weeks, or he has to wait until November. Episode could be next Friday, the 28th. That's what a lot of people are theorizing. But for me, I don't think the album is going to happen till either November or it's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. Maybe what he could do is episode 3 will be the rollout to the album, and then he just drops. Maybe he just drops right there, because at this point, I just don't know. Has he ever done bundles? Drake has not done bundles, but if you watch my video, I recommend that he does. The album is already pressed. UMG can still step on Iceman if he drops before October 3rd. UMG could definitely step on it. They could step on it with. They could attempt to step on it with Kendrick. They can attempt to step on it with Taylor. So there's a lot of things. Agreed. He's definitely dropping soon. Got to be at the end of the EU leg. Yeah, end of September. So there's a small window. It's either you drop now or you have to drop in November. But this is one of my biggest critiques of Drake. And again, you have to be able to critique your favorite artist. If you can't critique your favorite artist, you're too lost in fandom. You're lost. You're lost. I want the music to be done so he could execute this perfectly. And I feel like there's a lot of things changing and it's happening a little bit too much on the fly. You got Somebody Who Loves You. The video still hasn't come out yet. I know they were filming and I think they wrapped. You're on tour. You're rolling out an album. You're doing live streams. How can you keep up with this and continue to execute at a high level? It's difficult. He can do it, but he's making it a lot harder on himself. Shout out to Jenna. Shout out to Rhode Island. Shout out to Book Talk. Shout out to Book Talk. So I finally got my Money For You limited edition shirt. I didn't get any of the merch, which I'm a little disappointed in. But yeah, it's too many things. It's too many things happening, right? Like, I don't know how you could do it. How can you sleep? How can you be a dad? How can you record when you have to do all of these things? So if I'm going to be critical of him, I would want the music to be done. I'm also going to want to see more vertical integration. I don't understand why Instagram, when he's dropping these episodes, all the heart should be turning blue. Tyler, the Creator, did something similar to this. He needs to really engage his fans. He has to engage the fans. Crazy how many suppressors on a boy. I mean, yeah, that will come out in court. And we'll talk about the case. Thank you for the 199, brother. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you, man. So we can get into the case in a bit too. So again, let's just wrap. Episode 3 will likely come out next Friday. If we don't get that episode by next Friday, I think we're not getting an album till November. I would love another Scary Hour. I was listening to Scary Hours today. He got a body double. He might. All right, let's talk the Drake lawsuit, man. And this is one of the reasons why I do what I do. Because people are over here trying to trash Drake all day, and then they just post misleading headlines without even doing the basic research. So let's talk about this right here. Let's go to this guy's Twitter. Now, he's not the only one who did it. So I'm not bashing him here. Let's get to the good
youngins, bro. This through X to UMG's RJN. So now they have officially done it. Now they are going to the documents appended in exhibits and through X.
Pause this. So basically they have here, they're saying UMG has information about Drake with minors and Baka Not Nice. Now, all people have to do here is read. You ever heard that saying that reading is fundamental? You ever heard that saying reading is fundamental? Because if you don't read, you start making mistakes. If you don't read, you start making mistakes. All they said was we have headlines from Media Takeout about Drake's relationships with minors. They didn't say any of the relationships were inappropriate. They didn't say any criminal acts were committed. They said that we are prepared to come with these things. Now, if you also remember, last update I did, which you can watch on my YouTube, it's Drake said to himself, open yourself up to any background investigations or legal or criminal activity that I've done. They gave him $400 million. They gave him $400 million. You don't think that this company investigated him? Do you think that they were handing over $400 million to a guy who could catch a Fed case? Come on, bro. What are we talking about here? 135 people in the chat, man. Shout out to all of y'all, bro. Speech, thank you. Shout out to Speech, man. If y'all don't know who Speech is, you better do your homework. And I appreciate all the support you've been giving me, man. All the motivation and the comments. Thank you. Shout out to you. And yeah, Diddy would be the perfect person to produce for Cardi. No better A&R, no better ear, especially for female rappers. But man, like, people won't give him a fair shake. They will put out any misleading headline. Even the video I dropped today where I was talking about the involvement with Roc Nation, people were putting that news out like it happened yesterday. That happened a month ago. And I got caught in a lie. I was filming ready to say this just happened. And then luckily someone commented on my post and said, no, this is a bit old. This is old. So I had to go back and make an edit to my video alerting people that this is not new news. It's just caught on to social media. And propaganda is crazy. And a lot of what has happened in this battle had nothing to do with music. A lot that happened in this battle had nothing to do with music and had everything to do with strategy, had everything to do with influencers, and that's reactors, that's creators. They shaped the way that this battle went. That's without a doubt. They tried to say Kojo didn't exist. Yeah, because people are silly. Kojo's on Instagram. It says Interscope in his bio. Like these are not mysteries. These are easy things to solve. So, a lot of what Drake is talking about here in a lawsuit is it's so many different factors, right? First, people try to say that bots don't matter. Bots are a part of the lawsuit. Then there's the whole part where did the label come together to devalue him, or did they incentivize Kendrick to go into battle with him? So this is where we get into What's the Dirt's video. So let me pull up What's the Dirt. I don't know if I'm going to play the video and react live, or can I pull up the image that he did? Let me see what I can find. And shout out to What's the Dirt, man. Another guy who supported me, had no business shouting me out, and he did. He liked the video. And I got a lot of traction from that. So let me share this here. I'll share this with you guys. So as you see pictured here, he broke down the label structure, and this was beautifully done because this is what I like. I like the business. I like the business. The music business. Shout out to Trisha. Yeah, Dirt sent a lot of people here. So now what he broke down in his video is that Republic was in direct competition with Interscope. The CEOs are competing for market share. They're competing for bonuses. They're competing for the next top spot. So what they believe is that Kendrick signed a separate deal right before he dropped Euphoria, 3 days before, and it was under exclusive license to Kendrick Lamar, not PG Lang. So what they believe here is that Kendrick could have potentially been incentivized to attack Drake. That's another part of the case. Then you have payola. Who was paid and why was it not disclosed? Payola is a federal crime. Were radio stations paid? Were creators paid? There's so many different layers to this. So for people to dismiss it and say, hey, shout out to Dirt. Yeah, we're going to do something soon. Let me get my setup right. We'll get a panel going. We going to get right. I got some new equipment on the way, man. I'm going to step my Ethernet game up. We get right. So what they believe here, shout out to Jenna for the $1. W Jenna, W Book Talk. So there's a lot to look at there. There's so many layers. So you can't dismiss it and say, oh, he's just salty. Yes, he is salty, but he has a case. He has a case. You got the payola angle. You have the bot angle. You have conspiracy angle. You have the label angle, the interior workings of the label. There's a lot there. There's a Jenna is married. There's a lot there. There's a lot there. So he has a case. I don't think it's going to go to trial. I don't think he really wants to go to trial. I don't think the label does. So Academic said this on stream last night. I've said this since the minute this dropped. It has to get settled. It has to get settled. I don't see how they can put this to trial because you can't leave it up to a jury because anything can happen. Look at the Puff case. Anything can happen. You never know what's going to happen with a jury. I'm curious what's the next move after the lawsuit. It depends on what he chooses to do. A lot of people say, can he go independent? He could, but I don't think he would want to. Labels are a bank. Labels already have all the tools at their disposal, from marketing to branding to PR. They have the best people in place. So I don't know if you want to go independent, but if anybody could do it, it would be Drake. He could go to Sony, or he could stay with Republic and just get a bag. There's a lot of different options. All the options are on the table. Jay and Dirt are picking up Ox slack. yeah. I am. Man, I'll be on Academic soon. I'll be on Academic soon. Do you think Academics is anti-lawsuit because he's also in bed with the labels and it affects his bottom line? I think Academics, well, he's in bed with the labels. He's very clear and transparent, but I don't think it will affect any money he's paid. If you ever want to know if Academics got paid, there's a very clear way to see. You go to his page on his Instagram or on Academics TV. If they tag the artist, like they put the @ you know they got paid. If they didn't get paid, it will always be blank. That's a clear indicator that they were paid because they want people to go directly to the artist page. Now, I think he's anti-lawsuit because I don't think he sees the point in it, and which I respect. I'm not anti-lawsuit. I don't know if I would do it, but I've also never had hundreds of millions of dollars, and I've never been a billionaire, and I've never been talked about on a world stage. So I can't say I wouldn't do it, but it depends. It depends. And it depends on the outcome. But like I said yesterday, like I just said yesterday, y'all, I don't think Drake cares. He has nothing to lose. Every person who has been talking bad about Drake already doesn't like him. So suing doesn't change. What does it change? What does it change? Not a thing. If you are a fan, you will always be a fan. You're gonna say you're not gonna listen to Drake's music because he has a lawsuit? You guys listen to drill rappers who literally murder people. You didn't stop listening to them. So what's worse, murder or a lawsuit? What's worse, murder or a lawsuit? Tut Marley, what does he have to lose? I want to hear your feedback. What do you think he has to lose? Hypothetically, if everything Drake accused of Kendrick Lamar comes out to be true, does mainstream media report on it? Great question. Does mainstream media report on it? Yes. Will Kendrick fans care? No, they won't care. And it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter. The same way Drake fans don't care that he's suing. If you're a real Drake fan, you don't really care. What does it change about the music? Kendrick fans are not going to care. I hope that the allegation is not true. You never want to hear about a woman being in a domestic violent situation. So I hope it's not true. You pray it's not true. But if it is true, what does it change about Kendrick? Nothing. His fans are going to stick by him. They're going to say he went to therapy. They're going to say he changed. That's it. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. Legacy will be he called the cops. No one's going to jail. This is a civil lawsuit. And again, you guys listen to rappers who murder people. You listen to rappers who have been involved in federal lawsuits, who have snitched. So why do you care? Why does it matter? You're not in the streets with them. Why do you care? If your name is not in the paperwork, why does it matter to you? It shouldn't matter. It doesn't affect you at all. Why does it matter? Why does it matter? And that's the thing. You could be a fan of these people, but you don't know them personally. I don't know Drake. Drake doesn't pay me. So I'm only doing this because I think it's fun. He's my favorite artist of this generation. And I think he's not getting a fair shake. So I decided to use my voice and speak up and give him a fair shake. But I never say anything bad about my biggest critique about Kendrick in the past year is I didn't like the Super Bowl performance. But I'm not out here talking crazy to Kendrick Lamar. I'm not crazy or insane or a stan. It'll mean what he talks about in his music has less meaning, which is why he's one of my favorites. Okay. How does Kendrick win the battle if it's proven that everything he said is lies and everything that Drake said is true? Another great question. The battle's been decided. The public has weighed in. The public perception is Drake lost. Nothing will change that. But what it will do is I think this is going to open the veil to the industry. Everyone has rumors about how the industry actually works. But what this lawsuit will do is it will show you in black and white how it works. You might see a contract. People are talking about Drake's contract. Did you guys see what was in Kendrick's contract? Did you look at his contract? Because people are saying Drake is in a 360. Yeah, Kendrick doesn't own his masters either for those first couple of albums. Yes, my wife can get acknowledgement. I didn't see you writing anything. Miss Wolford Roebuck. Yes, what's up? I didn't see you write anything. It's a lot. We got 138 in here. So yeah, I mean, shout out to you. A lot of people have changed their mind and say, yo, maybe Kendrick cheated. Yes. That may change some minds, but public sentiment is what I mean. Public sentiment. I don't think Drake could have won when they first started. If Zami's still in here, he'll tell you. I thought Drake was going to win. I didn't think Kendrick was even going to respond to push-ups. I did not think he would respond. But it went the other way. It just went the other way. And that's okay. That's public perception. Doesn't the public think that because of what Drake is accusing UMG of, it plays a part in it? It plays a part in it, but it's like, how can you change somebody's mind a year later about it? Like, then, all right, think of it like LeBron and Jordan. If you think LeBron is the GOAT, already nothing that LeBron is going to do in year 24 or 23 is going to change that. Your mind is made up. You've already decided. Once I heard like that, I knew he's going to lose. I like that, but I got faith in Drake. I don't think he's ever really been out rapped, to be honest. I don't think he's been out rapped. So I gotta say that. I don't think he's been out rapped. Even against Pusha. Pusha was more drama than it was bars. Like, I still listen to Duppy. I still listen to Duppy. I'm gonna try to pull up a piece of Kendrick's contract too. Let's see if we could get it. Shout out to Poetic Flacco. Oh yeah, we got it right here. Here we go. Let's look at some of Kendrick's contract. Well, it might not be directly from the contract, but it'll give you insight on it. So let's look right here. The sound recording copyrights. So if you read that right there, it's the same thing. Drake and Kendrick had the same situation, and I talked about this in my video. It's leverage. It's leverage. When you sign your first deal, you're not going to have your masters. Kendrick is signed to TDE through Interscope. Do you think that Top is giving him his masters after he probably invested 100, 200,000 in him? No. You think Interscope is giving them the masters? No. Same way what Drake is signed through Young Money, Cash Money. They're not getting their masters. You're going to have to buy those back, my friend. You don't have leverage. They weren't popping rappers when they signed. So they're in the same situation. So people keep talking about the contracts. The contract is very similar, especially for the beginning of the career. Drake seems to have some inside information that says the end deal, Drake thinks he has a better deal because he believes that that Top still is taking advantage of Kendrick, while him and Birdman have already split ways. Birdman is eating off those first albums, but not any of the newer ones. 172 people, man. I gotta just take 172. Shout out to my brothers Tier NYC. Make sure y'all check their gear. Shout out to them. Nigeria, Vic, Esai, J Rock. Shout out to them. I appreciate the compliment. Drake is suing in his attempt to keep real integrity of hip hop, no lies and no fake stuff. I think that's a valid point. It's a valid point. It's a valid point. Is he doing this because he really wants to show you what's been going on? Hit the like button, please. Everybody hit the like button if you can. Super chats are available. You can sign up for the membership through the channel. I'm going to do some members only streams, some member only videos, some member only stories. I'm going to give y'all an ASAP Rocky story that no one's ever heard. I guarantee it. I guarantee no one's heard this. I'll tell you a story about being a teenager in Harlem and meeting Rocky and why Rocky would marry Rihanna. I'll tell y'all that at the end before I leave. Yeah, that Jay-Z interview, yes. OVO Noel. Shout out to OVO Noel. So yeah, I mean, either way it goes, I'm not mad at him for doing what he did. Would I have done it? I don't know, but I've also never had close to $1 billion. So that's that. I'm just giving him the fair shake of the deal. I'm just giving him the fair shake of the deal. How many tracks for Iceman? I don't think we can make a guess. Knowing Drake is probably 18 songs. What would I prefer? 12 to 15 songs. I don't need 18 songs. Drake wants a UMGC. I think he would definitely want Lucian to be fired for sure. He would want Lucian to be fired. I think that, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. I mean, he's been taking shots at the entire family. Look, let's see if we can go to plot twist. Y'all want to see plot twist real quick? Let's go to plot twist. He took some shots at the whole family. Let's pull up a picture here from plot twist. You gotta scroll down to find it. I hope he didn't delete it. If Drake is deleting posts, I'm worried. Drake's not known for deleting stuff. Let's see if we can find it. Because he posted Lucian's son, his wife. He posted her with the OVO hoodie on. Y'all that up so I can move between windows closely. Thanks for passing the Iceman, yeah, sir. Who needs ghostwriters? Who needs ghostwriters? Whoever's supposed to be making me hits but ain't got no hits sound like they need me. I think so he posted Sophia Richie, who's married to Lucian's son. So he's taking shots at the whole family. He's taking shots at the whole family. Mr. International, shout out to you. I assume you're in Canada. Are you in Toronto or another city? Shout out to Mr. International. We got 160 people in here. See, once I get my end screens right and all that, I'll be able to take a break, but I can't take a break. But I do want to take a picture because I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud that 160 people found this page. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. So hold on one second. Let me just get this picture. This is for y'all, man. This is for y'all. So we'll talk about Drake for a few more minutes. We'll talk about Drake for a few more minutes. Then I'll tell y'all the Rocky story and then I'm out of here. I got to go to sleep. All right. So here's what we'll do. I'll take 2 more questions about Drake and then I'll tell my Rocky story. 2 more questions about Drake and I'll tell my Rocky story. 2 more questions about Drake and I'll tell my Rocky story. Watching live from South Africa. Salute to South Africa. What city? Johannesburg, Cape Town. You know South Africa is like Drake's biggest fan base outside the US. You guys are like his biggest fan base outside of the US. And also remember, when I get to 3K subs, I got $100 giveaway for everyone, for someone who subscribed. We're gonna do a giveaway. Drake got to do it, and Drake is definitely not doing an interview. He's definitely not doing one with me. Am I a celebrity? Yes. Yes. I'm internationally known. Hook it up with Jenna. I listen, Red Solo Cups. I'm gonna write down your name. I don't think this is gonna work, but Jenna's family, so I will let her know you looking for her. I'll let her know you looking for her. All right. All right, man. All right. So if no more Drake questions, let me tell y'all a Rocky story, man. So I'm from Harlem, man. So I'm from the east side of Harlem. Rocky is Harlem and the Bronx, but he's a couple years older than me. And we're at a dice game. I was a teenager, so I wasn't even a professional. So shout out to Queens. Shout out to East Elmhurst, Queens, too. Rakim talk. So Rakim does talk a lot. So Rocky went to high school, Westside High School, with a lot of my friends. So we on a block chilling, and it breaks out into this argument. If you ever been in a barbershop, you ever been on a block, what do men talk about? Men talk about women. So at this time, we're teenagers. So everybody's screaming out, oh, I got this many bodies. I got this many bodies. I did this, and this. And Rocky stopped everybody. I'm going to tell you what Rocky said. And this is how I knew Rocky was going to be the man. Rocky was popping already in Harlem, but this is before ASAP Rocky. This is $1 Million Baby Rocky. This is MDB. So Rocky's first crew, if you don't know, there's a little history, was $1 Million Babies. That's his first crew, MDB. Him and Naka. So if you know New York history, shout out to Queens Flip, word. If you know New York history, then you should know. If you know, you know. $1 Million Baby Rocky. This is Doobie Rocky. Rocky says, yo, listen, I got the least amount of women than anybody here. All y'all are screaming out numbers. I got the least amount. But check this out. He said, I got the baddest ones. I got the least amount of women, but I got the baddest ones, and y'all be hitting anything. And I said, that's a good way to look at life. Don't chase everything. You focus on quality. And that's how I got my wife. I focused on quality. I wasn't out here chasing. I got quality and I locked in. And look at what Rocky did with Rihanna. Rocky got popping, locked in with Rihanna. Billionaire. I wasn't in the conversation. That was the older groups. So shout out to Rocky, Harlem Hospital, 135th. Shout out to 135th. My grandmother worked there for 30 years. Shout out to Harlem Hospital. Any more questions? Any more questions? Any more questions? Any more questions? So again, Likely what will happen, I think we get an episode next Friday. What is the red button? I'll tell you. What's the dirt kind of gave the scoop? I think the red button is concrete evidence of what allegedly happened between Kendrick Lamar and his wife. Again, I don't support any of this. When you're done, what do you think we'll the cover? Shout out to Aiden Rossi. Shout out to you, bro. I'll answer your question in 1 sec. I think the red button is concrete evidence of whatever Drake thinks happened or allegedly happened. And I also think the red button is concrete evidence on collusion from the label. If you watch in Iceman episode 2, you saw he had a bag with him. He was carrying the bag running. The next day on stage, him and Central C had the same exact backpack. That's not a coincidence. If you looked at Drake Related today, so if you don't know, Drake has a website called Drake Related. And let's look at the post on Drake Related. All right, I'm going to share this screen with y'all. Aiden, I'm going to answer your question in 1 second, bro. I got you. Promise. So look at Drake Related. He added an Amazon Prime truck. What's in the truck? Is it evidence? Now, what do I want the cover to look like? Drake always has some weird album art. He has a picture with the hoodie on, and also Drake has an infamous picture with the fur coat on with the dogs in front of the embassy in the snow. That picture is one of the best. That picture is one of the best. I hope he does something like that. I don't need no crazy album cover with 50 people on it pregnant. I don't want to see that. Do a good album cover, bro. Mr. International, shout out to you. I assume you're in Canada. Why is Drake not attacking Taylor since she was dancing vigorously to Not Like Us at the Grammys? She loves Kendrick. I think Taylor and Drake have a good relationship, though. And I also think, how can you attack Taylor Swift? That's not a fan base you want problems with. You don't want problems with the Swifties. You don't want problems with the Barbs. You don't want problems with the Beehive or the Re-Navies. So I don't think he would do that. I also think he knows the leverage that Taylor holds at UMG. So I don't think he would do that. That's his label mate. They're both UMG, but they're also both Republic, which is important to know because UMG Interscope is very different than UMG Republic. Again, watch What's the Dirt video. He breaks that down better than I can. Hopefully it's not true, but if the domestic violence is factual, will Kendrick be held to the same standard as Diddy? No. The Puff case is a little bit complicated. The Puff case had to do with a lot of different factors. It wasn't just the domestic abuse allegations. I believe it was a lot deeper than that. I believe it was a lot deeper. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he would attack Taylor Swift. I don't think anybody would do that. But, you know, I don't think they were friends like he was friends with like LeBron. Him and LeBron were friends. So I think that's why he was so hurt by Not Like Us. I think that's why he was so hurt by Not Like Us. So let me shout out some people real quick. Let's go through the top rankings. I'm gonna shout y'all out. I'm gonna save this. Listen, who we got? My wife is number 1. Thank you. Timmy Soul, shout out to you. Aiden Rossi, shout out to you. Inyo, shout out to you. Shane, Jenna, JJ, Cody, Keith, Zammy, shout out to you. Tut, shout out to all y'all, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Do I think Swidney? I'm not answering that. Listen, I've got a stream deck on the way. We'll have better connection, better audio. Again, I just wanted to come on here because the channel got monetized and I had to say thank you to everyone who's been supporting me. So because y'all did all of that for me, I had to come out here and share some knowledge with y'all, give some breakdowns, do a quick recap. I have another video dropping. I have 2 videos dropping. One dropping Sunday with the weekly recap on hip hop. Another one dropping where I'm going to talk about J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake, that relationship and what happened during the beef. And if you don't know, I do sports as well. So I've been on House of Highlights. I've been on Overtime. Go to my Instagram, j.roebuck. You'll see my sports content. My TikTok, j.roebuck again. Sports, NBA is coming. I cannot wait to talk about basketball, Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry, New York Knicks. We got a lot to get into. So if you're a sports fan, please make sure. Yeah, I'm going to do the Jay-Z interview too. I got the timestamp, 30 minutes. If you are a sports fan, make sure you are tapped in. Tapped in. We go heavy with NBA. Heavy with NBA. Shout out I'm New York, Harlem all day, New York. So I'm a Steph Curry. That's my favorite player. That's my GOAT. But I cover the Knicks and I cover Steph Curry. I cover the Knicks and I cover Steph Curry. So you'll get a lot we'll get a lot of basketball content. So if you like sports or if you like music, you can get both on the channel. You can get both of those things. And I'm gonna try to do 2 videos for each per week. And we'll definitely be doing a live. We'll definitely be doing live chats. So if you know the broadcast boys, shout out to my brother Nelson, my brother Lucas, House of Highlights broadcast boys, Anwar, one of the producers over there. That's the team. Those are my guys. Those are my guys. So if you know them, that's family. So you could check out my videos on House of Highlights. But I'm out of here, y'all. I'm out. Make sure you tap in. Share the stream. Is going to be on my channel. You can go back and rewatch it. Share with somebody. Like. Make sure if you're not subscribed, you are House of Highlights. That's the family. Go to House of Highlights. One LeBron fan versus 10 haters. I'm on that episode. You can also go to the Lakers. I'm on the Lakers episode. House of Highlights. One Lakers fan versus 10 haters. I'm on that episode as well. No, I said I went to school with J. Cole. I went to school with Cole. I'm from New York. J. Cole went to St. John's in Queens. I graduated from there. He graduated from there. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You saw that video. Shout out to Dub. I'm going to do a breakdown on that video too. I got to do my live reaction to myself on there. Is Iceman a rap album? Yes. Will you get R&B? It's Drake. But yeah, hope we get rapping. Queens, yes. Feature list, Yeet will be on there. I believe Central C. Party will likely be on there. 21. I don't think you're going to get many other features, especially not from American artists. If I did say that, my bad. I don't. Maybe I misspoke. Yeah, Cole went to St. John's. Will Drake expose LeBron? No, I don't think Drake is a dirty Mac. He's not a dirty Mac. So he'll allude to it, but he won't ever do that. He's not a dirty Mac. I think he when it comes to that, he got a little code of ethics. So him and French were the Splash Brothers. You should figure out what that means. He never said none of French's business. I don't think Drake has said anybody in any men's business. Congratulations. Thank you. Shout out to Taco. Thank you. Shout out to Taco. All right, man. I'm out of here. I'll see y'all on Sunday. I think What's the Dirt will be live tomorrow. I'll be on that live, and him and I will connect. And we're going to keep it rolling, man. Shout out to the family. And I got some merch on the way. We'll have some merch too. Again, we got a giveaway. I'm going to do a $100 giveaway when we get to 3K subs. So make sure you sub to the channel so you have a chance to win $100. I might give out some other merch too. I got some Drake merch. OVO, make sure y'all send the care package. I know y'all in here. All right, y'all. Peace.